Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Starladder Season 9. I'm your host, LD of Beyond the Summit. I should be joined here today by Winter. He's here in spirit, but not in body. Winter, are you with me? He might have his mic muted. Yes, this time it was your mic, Winter. This time it was your fucking mic.
I did it on purpose so that you won't hear other stuff.
Oh, you're such a troll.
No, seriously.
Well, we had an excellent match in our first game, and now we get what could be another excellent match. Vici Gaming versus LGD. Before we hop into the game, I do want to quickly look at the team's performance so far. Vici Gaming City at 2-2 through their first 4 games. They've looked, I would say, decent, but not amazing. LGD has looked really shaky. They had that one game against DK, they were up like 12k gold, had a super fat Viper, and still failed to carry the game to victory. So, the double damage game, as you like to put it. So they'll have the work cut out for him here, and, well, with that being said, Winter, if LGD does lose this game, they're 1-4, and I fear that their chances of going to the playoffs are very slim at that point.
Yeah, before we go into this game, I just want to add something from the last game.
Okay.
It was actually Chuan that 4-staff burning up on the cliff. It was on purpose.
Okay. So, it wasn't the Deafening Blast, though, which it looked like
No. It wasn't. I saw it was a 4-staff, but I didn't know whose 4-staff was it.
Okay. Well, offensive 4-staff. That's really IG specialty. 430, he won some big games for them historically with offensive 4-staff.
I remember those.
Yeah,
Invoker, he 4-staffed someone forward when they were pushing the middle lane tower.
Yes, it was versus Mouse Sports, actually. In the Beyond the Summit World Tour was the first time that I saw it in Dota 2. But with that being said, the draft is underway, so without any further ado, we're going to go ahead and hop on into it, guys. If you're just joining us, this is your second of 4 matches for the day.
The Venom versus the Red Lord. Huh.
Well, you want a Venom first pick. We're going to pick some rats that you can't gank with outstuns. But they do get an X.
They picked the Rat Exterminator, so yeah.
Well, so the closest thing that there is to one, anyway, in the form of the Nyx Assassin. Definitely agree with you there.
How does a cockroach kill a rat?
I don't know, man. That's kind of... okay, so the rat tries to eat the cockroach, and he chokes on it and dies. That's how the cockroach kills the rat. There, it solved the riddle. All in a day's work.
So he has to die for that to happen.
Yeah. No. He chokes on him trying to eat him, but doesn't eat him.
And then when he's trying to eat him, he pops his spike carapace, and the rat dies.
Yeah. Exactly.
So
Impaling the rat.
you kill him from the inside.
Yes, you eat him alive.
Well, technically you get eaten, but you burst out from his stomach or something like that.
Yeah, something like that, buddy. So, Slark was the ban from LGD. Vici have been running quite a bit of Slark lately, which is odd because it doesn't really seem like their hero. We saw Sylar on it. It wasn't that successful.
Yesterday, Super was playing the Slark.
Was it?
The Bloodseeker game.
I definitely remember casting a game where Sylar played Slark, but I guess it wasn't yesterday. I wasn't thinking of yesterday, though. I want to say he's played it safely in another game.
Maybe it was the WPC event or Signer Cup, maybe. I'm not sure.
Yeah. Maybe I'm just losing my mind. That's also entirely possible. LGD will go Dragonite ban, so worried a bit about Vici's solo mid-tempo controllers, but the Alks ban, the Dragonite's banned, but there is still the Panda. Invoker's also removed, so the hero pool of solo mids for Super is pretty small. Ah, the Wisp.
Yeah, what else does he... Yeah, he plays Invoker, Dragonite, Alchemist, Storm Spirit. Everything is banned. I'm thinking of something else that goes well with the Prophet. Maybe they just go for something like a Beastmaster since they have Lifesteal and Prophet already. But it seems like teams at the moment are more...
the Tiny...
Yeah, I was going to say tend to pick semi-carries in the middle lane instead of tempo controllers. There are more semi-carries being picked in the middle lane compared to tempo controllers in the current phase of the game.
Yeah, Vici's probably the team that likes to run tempo controllers the most in China right now. in the mid lane, but even so, we've definitely still seen them run super on more of like a semi carry. His Invoker, his Storm has seen some play in the past. So, well, with that being said, LGD do go tiny, and it's a rather bold. I guess this might be a offlane Nyx at this point, and then they'll still
Yeah,
need their solo mid.
it has to be a offlane Nyx or solo mid Nyx, and I like the Wiz against the rat too. You can catch him whenever he's slightest bit of off position. But I'm still really interested in seeing what is going to be the final piece of the puzzle for Vici Gaming. Do they want to go for one more core? They can go for one more core if they pick like TA
Hmm.
or even okay. This is
Ember.
one more core. I like this hero. This is actually really strong against all the massive spell damage LGD have. The Avalanche Toss, he doesn't take damage from that, and the NA as well.
That's true, but I will say that Ember's normally really good at split pushing, and this LGD lineup is really good at ganking split push. So he could die quite a few times here, and you can't always have Flame Guard online.
Well, I think the most important part of the Ember in this game is having the Remnant always behind you whenever you're trying to farm. As long as you have that, it's going to be very difficult for
Yeah.
LGD to gank you. Since the best thing they have is like Vendetta, and you don't use the Vendetta strike, you just impale from the invis, so he doesn't get time to dodge your stun.
Yeah, maybe he can Carapace if he's got Flame Guard online, but
Uh huh.
that's gonna just depend, I guess. And if he has it online, then he won't. They'll need a lot of items on this tiny.
But it looks like Vici's lineup, Nature's Prophet plus Ember. These two heroes are very annoying to fight against in a team fight, in a team clash. Prophet can just split push, move you around, and Ember can just deal damage over time. If the fight prolongs for a long period of time, obviously Ember and Visage
So
they will throw more soul assumptions and sleight of fist,
yeah,
and your heroes like Veno and the Wiz is just gonna be very unhappy about that.
yeah. They're just very good at blowing up squishy supports in general. This Vici lineup. And now for LGD, they'll need a solo mid, unless they want a dual lane mid, the Wisp and Tiny. But we haven't seen too much of that. If they, assuming they want a solo mid, there's still a TA out there. There's a
Huh.
Viper.
TA doesn't feel. Yeah, I like the Viper more. TA doesn't feel like really good against their heroes because they have the Flame Guard to take away your refraction. Wow, they
Wow,
actually
Enigma. Offlane and no
does
jungle
this.
Enigma. Are they going aggressive?
Wait, what is going on? So Wiz and Enigma is the two supports. Veno
So,
is solo mid.
oh, farming Veno. Okay, this makes uh
It's not actually that strong though
off
against.
offlane Veno. Oh,
Oh,
maybe he's playing it.
maybe they want to use the Veno against the Ember Spirit, so he has a really tough time in the lane.
Hmm. But I guess before he hits level 6, it's really hard for him. But
Yeah,
Veno
it's
is
very.
mostly magic damage, and Ember's got the shield.
Yeah, but you can't really farm effectively against a Veno. Like in the lane, you can't constantly pop your shield to farm. He's just gonna harass you over and over with the
Right.
sting.
But does he
It's
really need to farm? I mean, they've got Lifestealer, Prophet, and Visage, all heroes that can somewhat carry the team.
yeah, I'm not so sure. Like the Veno will have a good time against Ember in the lane, but what happens after the laning phase? Like,
Right, that's what
em,
I'm
em,
thinking right now.
Ember is so strong later on against all their heroes, and he just needs like level 7, level 8, then he's gonna be able to do a lot for his team.
Well, Winter, I know one thing. I'm excited to see Ember Spirit. One of my favorite heroes to play in pubs, and a hero that was super popular when he first came out has somewhat fallen off. Even though he hasn't been changed, teams just figuring out how
He's
to deal with him, I guess.
he's a useful red hero, I would say.
Yeah. Yes, he is a useful red hero. He's not a beastly red hero. One of the more useful ones. Okay, let's introduce our teams here. It's going to be a crucial match for both teams. For LGD, they're sitting 1 and 3 in the group stage. A loss here puts them at 1 and 4 and makes it close to impossible for them to actually move on to the playoffs. So they pretty much have to win out, I want to say, from here on out. We've got Pia Pia, or Mr. Xiaotuji, on the Tiny. On the Wisp will be DDC, supporting him in the top lane. They run maybe as the solo mid Veno, and they will run the jungle Enigma for DD, and that puts Yao into the safe lane Nyx, so trying to dodge the Vici tri-lane, and it looks like they will successfully do so. And I
This
just realized I don't have
is
in-game sound. There we go.
yeah, this is going to be good for them if they dodge the tri-lane. And on the dire side, we have Vici Gaming. ROTK, the captain, will be on the Prophet once more. Super will be handling the Raid Hero, Ember Spirit, Solo Mid. Fenrir will be on the Visage. FY will be on Rubik. It's gonna be a great Rubik game. Syla will be on the Lifestealer to round things off.
Well, guys, if you're just joining us, Starladder does indeed have a ticket. It's only $10. It comes with 222 matches. Some days we've had like 17 to 18 per day when all 4 regions are going. So if you're looking for just one ticket to buy, you want to watch all regions of play, it's not too late to pick up a Starladder ticket from the store. It comes with a Lich set, but most importantly, a whole lot of games. And as you can see, this prize pool keeps on growing. It started at $80,000. It's now up to 179, so it's grown by just about 100,000 already, and we're not even that close to the LAN finals yet. So very excited. I think it should break 200,000, which is pretty damn big.
Yeah, it's a very worthy ticket to purchase.
Yeah, I mean, you look at some other tickets, and like they have like 100 games, but and
Bottom
2 or
lane.
3 regions. But yeah, they've gone in on Yao here. The open ones to start. Soul Assumption is available, and he carapaces it. Very well done. He didn't skill
Well
anything.
done. Yeah, that was really well done. If you had Impale, you would probably have died already.
Sick play. And just holding on to your skill point that long, you don't see many players do that.
Yeah, Spike Carapace is especially good against the Visage, Soul Assumption, and something like Alchemist Stun as well. It's really strong. They're gonna not get the first bird, and they're just gonna rotate middle right after that. Huh.
Yeah, I mean, why not if you're Vici Gaming here? They don't really need to leave any help for the Lifestealer bottom.
Yeah, Amber Spirit is actually having a very tough time against the Venom, taking so much harass. And he didn't start with a stout shield, so that's actually quite surprising. Like, I see a lot of players actually start with stout shield. Maybe he feels that he just needs the bottle against Venom, doesn't need the damage block, because Amber starts with 1 armor at level 1.
Yeah, his base armor is atrocious. And it's one of the reasons why his mid lane is generally feels weak.
Yeah, for an agility hero and 1 armor, that's really...
He is going for max Flame Guard. Sing Sing likes to max Searing
Slate?
Chains and Slate. Or
Oh,
Slate,
okay.
yeah. Slate of course.
I think Flame Guard is the spell that does the most damage at level 7 if you
Yeah,
max it.
well, the reason Sing Sing does it is that they like to run a lot of junglers, and so they'll just smoke gank his lane, and you just initiate with Searing Chains, Slate, and you just get the kills.
Yeah, that's one way. It's a very offensive way, I have to say, of playing it. And Vici Gaming actually wasted a smoke trying to go smoke towards bottom lane, and Yao actually went all the way to middle. And the Enigma also used 1 smoke just to get to top lane quicker.
They can kill RTK. Already a level 3 Enigma. He's gone 2 points of Malefice here as well. And yeah, now the conversions get
He
spawned.
should be dead.
ROTK should be our first blood. If they can just get the avalanche off, they'll need to just throw it here. He tries to juke it, but not gonna happen. Tiny dunks him.
Yeah, the trade-off, I think it's still alright. This is still pretty good, even though they lost the Prophet, but they're farming on the other 2 lanes. But the only thing is the Prophet, whether he can just go behind and draw the creeps away. Otherwise, LGD would be pushing the tier 1.
And now Yao's gonna have a hard time defending while Vici pushes that bottom lane.
Yeah. RTK is gonna try to pull the wave away so he can buy time for the tower.
They're zoning Yao out here pretty aggressively.
Yeah, there's nothing he can do to stop the tower push, but Prophet you can use the treants. That's the good thing about being a Prophet.
The problem here for Vici is they just don't push very fast. Even though they're not being contested in the push, it's a very slow push for them.
Yeah, they don't have summons, unlike the Enigma.
Structures are fortified.
They
And
can
DD.
actually TP the Prophet towards bottom, but they chose to have the Prophet at top to slow down the push. I think it was actually a better decision considering how much he's actually slowed them down. Oh, here's Yao. Yao is doing some manual drawing away of the creeps.
And now he's surrounded and Super's here, and this should be a kill. Yep, there's your
Spike Carapace ain't gonna save you, buddy.
Slate to the face. Or Slate. I keep on saying Slate, but apparently that's the wrong way to pronounce it.
Slight of this.
Slate. Yeah, it looks like Slay, though. It's like Slay with a T, man. So why is it not Slate? I don't know. English is a confusing language.
I thought French is a confusing language. I think
Every
French is-
language is confusing, man. Language is confusing. What can I say? And now, Phase Boots will be the choice for Super. Not going for Arcanes, which I actually kind of prefer this build, to be honest.
Every
Every time I watch Arcane Boots, I just feel like it's underwhelming.
No, but if you tried it, if you max slide of this at levels, at early levels, you won't have the mana pool to sustain it without the arcane boots.
But you don't really need arcane because you can just drop a spirit, TP home, and then spirit back into the lane.
Yeah, but you're not gonna do like you constantly need to go back to base. Like in a fight, if the fight is prolonged and you don't have an arcane boost, you can't spam that many slides.
I've in my experience, I feel like just between having like Bottle Crow, getting a few runes, and using the remnants to go base, it's
It's
enough.
not about the laning phase. I think the arcane boost is more of the fights. You're able to sustain through the long fights with your slide and arcane boots.
So you're a phase boost
I actually
hater.
didn't. No, I like the phase boots at first, but after seeing the arcane boots, I was like, why do you get arcane boots on this hero? You want movement speed and damage, right? With the slide.
I got my man supers back here. Let's see how it works out though. We'll see. Keep an eye on his mana pool this game and see if he actually has enough. When
You
he
need
needs it.
drums. If you go phase boots, you need drums.
Oh yeah. No, I definitely agree with you there.
And the thing is, if he gets guild, his illusion will be like crawling like a turtle.
His illusion?
His ultimate, yeah, because it's based on your movement speed. So if you
Oh,
get,
the remnant. Yeah.
yeah, I shouldn't use illusion. Okay, remnant.
Yeah.
So-
I was like, wait, maybe I don't. Maybe I'm confused about something. Okay. DD rune will spawn top. Maybe he's gonna get it. So, Super not having the best rune luck as of late. He got the one DD rune earlier though.
talk about double damage yesterday. The storm or Moo, he got like 3-4 double damage in one game.
Yeah. He also got like 15 runes, so I didn't think that was it won them the game, but I feel like he earned those double damage runes. You know.
It's more like the team created space for him to control the runes.
Okay, the team earned his double damage runes. Fine, Winter.
Just look at the creeps. They're drawing the creeps like.
You should be a lawyer, my friend. You and your semantics.
I would be a really bad lawyer.
I believe in you. Here comes Vici. They'll abandon that bottom lane. They'll just leave the Lifestealer here, and realistically, LGD are gonna have a very hard time killing him. Yao's level 3, so I do like this adjustment for Vici.
Yeah, they can probably just try to give their supports more levels in the next few minutes. Like it was like a similar situation like yesterday. The Prophet can't really go to the lane, but he's still standing in the lane. He can actually start, maybe not their jungle, he can go to the enemy's jungle in this situation and leave the lane to one of the supports.
Well, I guess it wouldn't matter what Boot Super went for, the way this lane's developing. He's just getting harassed so hard. Sitting at like half HP.
It's very difficult to lane against the Venom as an Ember in the lane, but if you look at the last hits, they're both dead even, so I think he has done a really good job.
Yeah, of course, maybe he's gonna do a better job of controlling the runes with the way the lane's pushing now, but there's a smoke, and Super's on the prowl. They'll find DD here in the woods. He does a black hole. Does he have mana for it? No.
Nope.
No mana and no soul ring. He's gone Bassy for the early push, so that's just the death of DD. See?
Huh.
Kill secured with the slight.
He spent his money on a power trades before he died. Okay, I didn't expect that. I was thinking that he might go for like a quick mech or something. But Soul Ring is actually purchased on the IO.
Yeah, so she's not rushing a mech, and Veno could go for one, but Veno's going treads as well.
I feel like the Venom could go for more. Okay, the
Lol.
Venom. Just an avalanche toss gone. The
Yeah.
bird, the Imba hero. He actually went for 2 points in Grave Chill at level 4.
What?
Huh?
That must be a myth. Why would you do that? That must be a myth click.
Yeah, must be a mistake. I don't think there's even any remote situation that 2 points in Grave Chill will be better than 2 points in Soul Assumption.
Yeah. Well, even if you're playing carry Visage, you still wouldn't go for that.
Here goes the tower. Well, LGD are in good control on the map right now. 2 towers down, map starting to open up, and the Wisp ultimate is coming up. This is the time for the Wisp to be very, very, very deadly on the map.
And Vici are going pretty greedy here. One Midas out on the Lifestealer, who got it very early. And then another Midas coming for the Prophet, and they're already running Ember. So they're looking to take the slate against Tiny Wisp almost, it seems.
Yeah,
Or
Ember
later,
is,
anyway.
Ember late game against Tiny Wisp, I think he would do fairly fine too, since you can always be at a safe distance, dealing damage with your sleight of face. And the Tiny can't really... He needs to close the distance on you before he can start hitting you. So I think He's still a good hero against Tiny, and he's going for the max light and max flame guard build.
And like you pointed out, the flame guard makes it very hard to combo you. So like you can't instantly kill Ember usually.
Yeah,
Unless you have a DD rune and you're quite farmed.
they're gonna go for a smoke right now. The second smoke of the game. They're gonna go try to control their jungle since they already lost control of their own jungle.
And look at Yao. He's already suspicious about some sort of movement as he's hiding under these towers bottom. But now he'll show himself. And the Observer Ward's here. But
Who's gonna die?
But they might catch two out. They drop the Remnant immediately, catches out DDC, and then Xiao Tuju will be next. Tosses the Ember away, who comes right back in for the kill. Oh, haste rune for the Veno at least. But that's a big double kill.
Yeah, that was a really good.
And Wisp was not level 6 yet, so that delays the level 6.
That kill happened because it's weird if I say this. That kill happened because LGD had a ward here. They saw no heroes there, and they felt very safe. But smoke.
Well, they didn't. I guess maybe they felt safe top, but Yao was hiding in the trees. Like
Yeah,
they didn't all feel safe.
They thought like they might go for bottom lane because like the ward here spotted no heroes at top, so you were thinking that Vici had their team
Right.
at bottom lane.
Ah, yeah, that's a good point.
That's why I felt like the ward actually made the gang happen.
Well, lesson learned: don't buy any more wards, guys. wards are gonna get you killed. Pub logic, strong logic.
Yeah, I think that's not a very good way to play pubs.
That's the logical conclusion, Winter. Come on now.
Yeah, but it doesn't. Yeah, it actually
If you follow the chain of logic through, you arrive at one inevitable conclusion: that wards are
and
bad.
the
your team.
inevitable conclusion means that you should not buy wards.
Yes. Yes.
Alright.
Yes.
You must be a carry player.
Yes. Well, Vici Gaming are going to go for another smoke here, perhaps? No, just going to rotate through their woods. And it looks like Super... We'll have to see. Could be the Deso first or the BKB, but generally I'd expect the Deso with this build.
Deso, I think. If he goes for a hammer this early, I think it's a Deso. I don't think he's going for... But BKB is actually really good against their heroes. But
Yeah, I agree. I like Deso, though. Makes your Lifestealer hit quite hard.
same. I like the Deso damage.
And good with this Prophet just for pushing effectively. Oh, FY still in the plague
Wow.
wards. Very
Just look
annoying.
at the damage he dealt to the Wiz in one slide. So like 200 damage, almost 100 over damage.
Oh, mid lane, ROTK. He's been caught out here by a Vendetta
relocate.
gank. Oh no. And then the relocate. ROTK. Midas was up too. It's almost worth a rage buyback. Almost. Not like he needs much excuse, that ROTK.
It's gonna be a really tough game for a Prophet. He
Yeah,
has the
and
bug-
Veno,
he has
Veno
the-
did go mech, by the way.
He has the bug to deal with and the relocate. So Veno, as you mentioned, completed the mech. So none of the other guys need to worry about that. Maybe the Enigma can just go for a quick BKB. Yeah, he's going to do that. But he doesn't have soaring though. That's still quite surprising for me. Your mana, you will always need like a mana item. He didn't go for any mana item apart from the Bacillus.
Yeah, I guess with the treads, he can use tread swapping to help make up for it, but it's still... He'll have to
I
go
still
base a
think-
lot.
Yeah, I still think it's not enough though.
Oh, they do have
Unless-
the Wisp. They have the Wisp, but usually the Wisp needs to reserve the Soaring for Tiny. So yeah, I don't know.
I only think you can do this if you have a Crystal Maiden on your team.
I mean, you can see why he went for the early Basti, though. They wanted
I
to push the
understand.
safe lane, but I guess this is the drawback to that build.
Yeah, because like none of the other heroes can go for a Bacillus. Like Tiny doesn't really go for a Bacillus, so yeah.
And he's almost got Eggs. This is a very big Tiny. He's still out farming the enemy Lifestealer, and Lifestealer went Midas. And this is before the egg.
It's because of the towers. They have one tower advantage right now. It's gonna be even soon.
Well, this is a fast phase drums egg. I wonder if it's enough. Sure, they're up against a Tricore, but a farm Tiny, if his team just gets one good, like, Blink Impale, one good Black Hole, he can kill everyone during that time.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Oh, the sentry. Wow, it was just. Well, he was just really lucky that he was just getting out of there.
Just in the nick of time.
Oh, that was just 1 second. He would have been dead. But like you said, the Tiny can definitely fight the whole team of Vici Gaming. At the same time, Vici Gaming's heroes are. I wouldn't say they are bad against Tiny. Like like we talked about before, the Ember is really good at kiting the Tiny. So even if the situation arises where the Tiny has like maybe 3-4 slots, but the Ember will still be able to deal a lot of damage to the Tiny.
Alright, Super. What's it gonna be? Mithril Hammer or Ogre Club? He might be waiting to see what he needs here.
Yeah, both of the items are really good. I feel like it's not necessarily certain that he'll go for Desol, but yeah.
It seems more suitable if they want to go double Midas. You generally do that to take it late. So it would be kind of weird for Super to go for the BKB in that sense.
Yeah, true. But it still wouldn't be surprising if he goes for it since there are so many lockdowns on LGD. So
Yeah.
it's still both choices have their benefits.
Dire's top tower
Well,
is under attack.
make a decision here, Winter. Stand for something. Have an opinion for once in your life.
Okay, if me, I would do BKB because I would just dive in with the Ember.
You chose
And
wrong.
then-
You chose
Because
wrong.
because like one thing about the BKB is like the enemy can't take your Flame Guard away. Your Flame Guard does a lot of damage.
They
so
have to
you can just
relocate
BKB.
here. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, he can just BKB and run in with the Flame Guard and deal a lot of damage. That's the like the upside about having the BKB.
The downside is you don't get those sweet, sweet kill secures.
Yeah. That's not kill secure. That's like dealing damage from far away with the Desol.
Yeah, you just use Winter, didn't you? You're supposed to use it to last hit. Play the fist.
But I thought you said before, like 5 minutes ago, you said the Desol will help the Lifestealer deal more damage.
Yeah, on the heroes that you're not KSing. Like you use it, you hit 4 heroes, you KS one, then he starts hitting hard, then you KS the next.
I'll be extremely worried if I play a pub with you and you're playing on an X.
Ay, ay, ay. Well, Vici Gaming, they'll hang on for now. The Tiny has had eggs, and now this is where things get scary. If they have one bad fight, Tiny probably takes 2 towers off.
Well,
of
he
that
actually
fight.
has the X at level 1 ultimate. Oh, he looks actually really cute.
It doesn't work at level 1, right? The cleave? I don't think it works at level 1.
Really?
Yeah, I remember. Maybe they changed. We'll find out soon. I'm pretty
I'm
sure it
looking
doesn't.
at him. He's gonna hit creep soon.
I'm not. At least the last time I did this, I thought it was so cute, I didn't want to level it up. Damn it! Hit a creep, Tiny. You're trolling us.
It's
To
gonna
be fair, the last time I got eggs before I hit level 11 was a while ago. This is very fast.
Yeah, he's so farmed. That's why. Okay, he's gonna hit the creeps.
Oh, it does
Okay,
work.
there's.
It must have been a bug then, because I swear when I did it before, like this was like a year and a half ago, it did not work. Okay.
Dire's
Pretty cool.
bottom tower is under attack.
He's
looks
like
really cute.
He's like the trunk is too big for him.
So adorable. I think it's a Deso. No, it is a Deso. All right, now I'm
He got-
excited.
Okay, that's all. Q secured.
Yeah, it definitely used to be bugged, but obviously I guess they fixed it since then.
Yeah, I think it should be this way. Like because you buy it directly buffs your ultimate. Why does it mean that your level
Well,
1
but
ultimate?
I mean, it makes sense if it doesn't work. It's too heavy. Yeah, well, it used to be Winter it used to be he held it with 2 hands when he ran. Like when he was running.
Okay, so logically it's too heavy for the small guy.
Yeah, like the animation used to be different. If you look at Cyborg Matt's old blog, back when he released it, it's like Tiny's holding it with 2 hands and like struggling to keep it up. Maybe there's a patch note that I missed.
Bottom lane.
Maybe it
you
wasn't
might
a
want to be there. Bottom lane.
Yeah, I am there. Don't worry. They're going Yao now. They'll drop the sentry here, and the rage just keeps on coming. But black hole's at the ready,
Black hole.
and the relocate comes. They haven't even bothered with the black hole yet. Suddenly, 2 dead. Tiny Sama.
Yeah,
Very
the
strong.
spike carapace reflected. One was the soul assumption. The other one was like fate bolt. I think he reflected a lot of damage. That's why he lived so long. Otherwise,
Good
I
counter
don't think. Yeah, otherwise I don't think they would have been able to take the fight that quickly. But still, really good job by Yao.
And
Here
the thing,
comes-
DD it doesn't have mana
comes-
for black hole actually. I guess that's why he didn't use it.
Oh yeah, true. He didn't have mana. This is the downside. But he has like 11 stick charges.
Yeah, maybe he could have used it.
Yeah, he didn't need to in the end though, so it was alright. But this is a really unconventional lifestealer bomb with the Ember Spirit.
2,500 gold.
Wow. Okay.
They could maybe, if Vici wins a fight, and then take the tier 1, they can probably just go into Roche. Are they just gonna sneak it?
He can just fly in with the Remnant. Yeah. Just
See?
go in.
Free fountain trip. No problem.
Yeah, but it still doesn't mean that you should get an Arcane. There's no point of getting an Arcane Boots. He still runs out of mana.
There's the Deso buff, and they've got a sentry ready here. Yeah, I was playing it very
Dire's
safe.
top tower is under attack.
Yeah, he can't afford to just run in here without a dagger. There's no way he can get this initiation off. They need maybe the Venom to go in first to drop all the spells before they can really initiate on this.
Wow,
it's gonna be really difficult.
tanky Veno. He's got point booster and mech. They're gonna have a hard time preventing his ult.
I think he still dies, like, yeah, but he'll eventually get his ult off, but he still dies fairly quick, I feel.
Well, yeah, mainly to the lifestealer who can just clean him up.
This fight is gonna be... It's gonna be really crucial for them. They need to hold on to this Roshan. They can't give it away. Oh, Prophet! Oh, the career!
Radiant's
Sneaky.
courier has been killed.
Oh, he actually almost got punished
Oh,
for that.
I couldn't see the observer because there was a hero standing on it. I was like, where's their vision? But nice aggressive ward sets that one up. Well done.
Yeah, he was a very... Was anything in the career? Anything important at all?
No,
I think nothing, right?
Just
Yeah,
the
nothing.
just the shitty wizard on the courier.
Just a So now you have...
Nothing of value was lost this day, Winter.
You're hating this career now?
That's his name. He's the shitty wizard. I'm not hating on him.
What?
They'll lift him up. Yao. Gets thrown back down and keeps on chasing. Relocate onto Fenrir. But a flame guard does a good amount of damage, and they just bring them down. The black hole gets cast only on the lifestealer. Can they focus him in time? This Ember Spirit is hitting hard, but he just needs some backup, and he gets none. He gets no support until the lifestealer buys back. Once again, Super. Another Sleight of Fist. Another Searing Chains. Doesn't
the
get the
craggy
kill.
exterior. The craggy exterior saved the Tiny.
Wow. Are they just gonna go Roche with the buyback? I think they are.
Oh,
They can
no.
Roche.
Oh, I thought that fight was gonna be like easily won by LGD. Oh.
This Ember Spirit super hit at the Searing Chains on 2 heroes. Sleight of Fist on like 4, like 3 times in a
Okay.
row. That did a
Yeah,
lot
the
of damage.
Desolator paid off here. I'm on you. I'm with you
Well,
on
this is when they don't initiate on him though. If they go on him first, he might just
Radiant's
feed.
middle tower
Yeah,
is
but
under
he can just save buyback and fly to his remnant.
Ah,
Roshan
that's
has
true.
fallen to
If
the
they go on him, it's still risky if he has buyback. But again, like you mentioned, if he doesn't get focus, he's gonna deal a lot of damage with the Deso.
And Super's now feeling quite confident with his team having the Aegis. They give it actually to Sylar.
Radiant's middle tower is under
And
attack.
Sylar
Radiant's middle
working
tower
towards a
has
Basher
fallen.
here, it looks like. Wants it for the Tiny, I guess.
Basher. Yeah, he needs to be able to lock down the Tiny, but the Tiny is actually going to be moving really quick with the tether.
Oh, Tiny's going
And-
BKB.
Yeah, he needs to go. I think he needs to go BKB if he wants to man fight and win the lifestealer, so you can take the open wounds off yourself.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Oftentimes you'll see a lot of Tiny players just like, even against Lifesteal, you just go Manta. But
Yeah, true. Manta is also a good solution, but I guess he's worried about like a lot of spell damage from the Prophet, the Visage, and the Rubik. So he just wants to like, it's Xiaotuji. He always goes for BKB on his carry heroes.
yeah, it's a very different style from, say, like Mr. Curtis Lane, AUI 2000, who does not like the BKB on Tiny very much. At least he never used to. Maybe the times have changed. Jesus, that's annoying.
And Mr. Curtis Ling likes to go for power trades instead of face boot.
Yeah, just to increase his farming speed. Because you have the extra attack speed. But
Yeah,
also, some of the
because-
Western players have been skipping the drums, and they just go treads, ags right away. But-
I know who does that.
Era? Yeah, Era. Man. We've been watching our Dota, Winter, that's for sure.
On the same page.
Cast Chinese Dota by night, watch North American and European Dota by day.
That's actually what I do though.
That is what I do too. When I'm not busy working on anything else, which is, well, as often as possible.
Yeah, but this game right now at the moment, I feel the momentum is still slightly with Vici since they have the Aegis, but like LGD can still catch off the Prophet or anyone on the map with the relocate. So Vici is still really under pressure trying to push out the lanes. The Tiny is pushing the lanes really quickly with the Acceptor.
And he's not reached his final form yet, but he's upgrading now. He gets the BKB, level 2 ultimate. Still doesn't have the huge club though. Actually, I guess the club looks smaller, but the Tiny's the big one.
I enjoy the Warcraft tree tiny more where you pick up a tree literally when you have an axe.
Did they change that in Warcraft 3 ever, or it still works the same?
I don't know. I haven't been playing Warcraft 3 for ages, but
Oh man, DDC just gets melted.
double damage, Desolator. He's going to go for like all out damage. Desolator, Daedalus.
The thing is, they have the Lifestealer to tank, so Super can just sit back and spam Sleight of Fist.
Sit back and enjoy the view.
Sit back, relax, and enjoy. Well, I don't know if the view of the Lifestealers behind is that enjoyable, but he'll enjoy doing the damage, I guess.
Dire's bottom
Yeah.
tower is under attack.
I mean, this is not a very...
And what do you think about like Battle Fury on Ember?
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
I think it's situational, but I think if it goes late enough, it's definitely worth getting. Almost
Yeah,
every game.
it's like a lot of damage when if you think about
Oh, nicely done by Super. They mono burn the Tiny. He's a bit low, but they don't want to commit to this one. Not with a BKB Enigma on the field. That's actually a concern here for Vici. They do have the Rubik, though, with a Blink, so maybe it's not that much of a concern, actually.
Yeah, but the thing with the Rubik is like in the fight, there's Nyx and there's so many AoE spells like Nyx and Venom and the Tiny. He gets killed very easily. He needs to. It's very hard for him to get the steal on the Enigma Black Hole properly, since he needs to be very far away. And if they see him, he just dies instantly to either the Tiny or the Nyx. It's very easy to kill him.
I'm really curious to see how this game develops, because I feel like for LGD, a lot of it does come down to the Black Hole.
I have my faith on Tony Stark though. Tony Stark, sorry. Tiny.
I imagine if you see the win rate for Tiny late game, it's got to be one of the highest of any carry.
Don't have to remind me. I was on the receiving end of that.
Well, Winter, that was before people had been familiarized to the Tiny. Nowadays, everyone should know. Fear the big rock.
I still see the Tiny wrecking my base in my dreams nowadays.
Is that an analogy?
Oh, this fight is actually...
Or euphemism, I guess?
Aegis is running out soon.
Open wounds. Going on Pia here. The Aegis
Aegis is running out soon.
Oh, he needed a bash there. Didn't get it. Even then, it would have been a dangerous dive.
Yeah, it's running out in like 40 seconds, 45 seconds. They have to be really careful.
And also looking at LGD, there's a buyback on the Tiny here, so potentially could be a relocate or TP home and then relocate back into the fight, even if he dies once.
And the Venom has Axe Scepter, and the only person to be safe from that is the Lifestealer, and everyone is just gonna like drop to 1 HP with the Axe Scepter, like close to dying in one ultimate.
Well, it's only 8-8. It hasn't been as bloody as our DK IG match earlier, but it's very close. The closest match I've seen in a while. I will say, Winter.
Middle lane.
Oh, relocate onto RTK, and the Nyx was here to set it up. RTK will fall.
Oh, what did he get?
Stole the avalanche, or the toss rather. The toss. Blink toss the enemy back.
Toss
Blink
the
toss.
Lifestealer. That'll be fun.
Yeah, that's my favorite thing. To just blink in, toss them back to your team, and then force step out.
Oh,
We're going on maybe now, but the Tiny's ready, and they try and dodge here, but the Black Hole's gonna connect on Super. It was stolen! It goes the other way! FY does get it off on many heroes, but there's no Ember for this. He died while it was happening, and now they just get cleaned up. Tony, Sama, Tony, mercy, please. No mercy. Not from the Drock man. No mercy.
If only the Ember wasn't dead, he was able to deal a lot of damage, but like you said, not enough damage when he got 3-man Black Hole, but they didn't have the damage.
It just comes down to them not having an AoE carry. Lifestealer, only the Ember can do it, but even then, I don't think he's quite farmed enough anyway. If he had like Daedalus, maybe, but he's only got the mini Daedalus.
They are not as strong as
Crystal.
LGD right now. LGD is much stronger in the team fight at the moment. Oh, this might be actually the tower down, I think. I don't know if the Rex is gonna hold though, but it's tiny. Okay, the Rex might go down.
Straight through mid.
There's no fortification. Okay, the Rex is gone.
Yeah. They do have the Ember Spirit back. Maybe they can steal something good here. Rubik, he's stolen the Impale. They'll lift up the Nyx, toss him back, and they will focus him down.
Okay, the Rex was barely safe.
Yeah, but
they
now...
actually could have forced to get the Rex. Like, they just need to save the relocate to get the Tiny out, but then the Tiny just constantly... They could have just suicided. At least sacrifice the waste for the Rex, I think.
Well, they can always relocate to backdoor it, so I don't really know if they need to worry about it now.
Yeah, true, true. That's very true.
And Vici Gaming. The hero that hasn't done anything for me with this game, Winter, is this Prophet. ROTK, 1, 4, and 3. He's just split push.
He's
So
very
poor.
scared because like the Nyx, and it's always the constant fear that there's a Nyx, there's a relocate, and you can't. You have to be like really, really good in your positioning. Otherwise, you're just easy pickings for the enemy heroes. I think like the best way for me when I see this out of lineup as Prophet, I'll just constantly use my Necrobook when my Necrobook is off cooldown and just push the lanes with it, and I'm just hiding like 10,000 miles away.
Now the issue is though, like when we looked at this late game and we said Vici Gaming's pretty good there, even though they're up against Tiny Wisp. A lot of that's under the assumption that they can just find pickoffs with the Prophet Hex, but without it, I just feel like they can't exert enough pressure on the map, I think is the way that I would put it.
Yeah, because it's like you can't go out too far. There's always the chance you might get caught yourself. That's why they find it really hard for them to
And
exert
now,
pressure.
if they get caught against Tiny Wisp, that's just 1 or 2 lanes of Rax instantly. I
Yeah,
guess
it's
1, but
it's very
bad.
difficult, and like you said, the Ember needs like I feel he just needs to buy out the Daedalus instead of saving for buyout the next fight, maybe.
Yeah. I don't even think it's a maybe. They need more damage. Tiny's got an Assault Caress now, so every bit of right click. And this is where Cleave also comes into play, is once heroes start getting that much armor, you kind of just want to hit them with some Cleave crits. Get lucky.
Yeah, you just look at the net worth of Tiny. He's like 7,000 ahead of the Lifestealer with Midas. So his Midas was like 8 minutes, 7 minutes.
Remember when Tiny when he had most of his Ags, when he had like Phase Drums, Point Booster, Ogre Club, they were dead even. And now Tiny's 7k ahead.
Yeah, because of the tether, you got movement speed running around the map to farm and the cleave and everything. He's gonna just pull further and further ahead. Maybe the last item I would say he's gonna get is like the crit on the Tiny. I think that's a good item to round up his items.
Uh-oh. Blink Dagger on Yao. 1 good Blink Impale. That could seal Vici Gaming's fate. With this tier 2 push coming, no glyph available. There's buybacks up on a few heroes, though. The Lifestealer, the Ember, and the Prophet. And the Visage. So 4 heroes and 3 cores. But the Nyx is looking for a Blink In and an Impale. And he goes now. He whiffs it, though. Super narrowly dances with death and lives to
the
tell
sleight
tale.
of fist is actually barely scratching the Tiny.
Yeah, it's useless against
the
the
stack! Oh no, that's a 3 stack. Oh boy.
I thought they finished it. They had to back.
Oh boy, that was a lot of gold. Like 1,000 gold. 1,000 gold.
It's not just that they stole it. They stole it in like 4 hits. 3 hits. Relocate top lane just to farm. Free teleport.
Alright.
It's got a pretty low cooldown.
Yeah,
just over a minute.
It's not important. They don't really need the cooldown off now. They're not using it.
If you're Vici though, maybe you say, okay. Well, oh no, they went back. They didn't stay top. It is the Daedalus though.
You mean on the Ember? He finished the Daedalus? Yeah.
He needs to be a crit lord.
Uproot and after them.
Ah, he has 1 remnant inside the Roche, but it doesn't actually give vision.
It's giving him vision.
No, the Familiars is giving vision. Okay.
No, I think it does give vision.
I thought it doesn't give vision.
It seems unless spectator mode is bugged.
Yeah,
I think it
unless it's
does.
spectator.
I think it
I
does.
remember it doesn't give vision. I remember. Okay, never mind.
It doesn't say on the advanced tooltips.
Yeah, I remember it doesn't give vision when I was playing it. So
Maybe it was bugged when he first got... That's the thing is, like, if you just play the hero when they first get released, there's always quite a few bugs, and then they get fixed later on, so... If you're not playing him actively, you might... Like, again, the Tiny with the level 1 Ags, when I first played him, it didn't work. Well, level 1 ult, rather.
A lot of stuff, like, there's a lot of issues when the new stuff come out.
Well, wasn't there a bug at the International 1 that Gem didn't see wards? I remember there's an EHO match, I think. It was EHO versus... I forget who they're playing. But the enemy team had a Gem, and it couldn't see wards, and it ended up winning them the game. Well, it's one of the reasons why they won.
That was hugely unfortunate.
That was like the Wild West of Dota 2, dude. Can you imagine if Gem didn't see wards now? Oh my goodness. There'd be 6 Reddit threads on the top page. 6,000 upvotes each.
It's already so hard to deward with sentries.
I know, right? Well, this wasn't the old sentries, but even so.
Wow, a full heart. He purchased a full heart.
Interesting.
Huh,
Very rare to see the heart.
I was expecting damage. More damage.
Butterfly? I feel
or
like
Daedalus.
Butterfly would have been pretty good.
Butterfly would be good against the Life Stealer.
And the
but-
Ember. You can dodge his Sleight of Fist as well.
But I think like I was thinking that he's actually really survivable, so I never thought of any defensive items. I was thinking on Daedalus.
Do they need more offense though? I mean, maybe he just hits too hard. I don't know.
Dire's top
If
tower
you hit-
is under attack.
Well, if he gets lucky though, he can kill everyone with one blow.
Dire's top tower has
They do have
fallen.
an Assault Cuirass on this Life Stealer, but it's just not enough. You really need to be an item ahead when you're a Life Stealer.
Yeah, the only worry I have about the heart is like it gives Life Stealer more damage on you. That's all.
Well, Ember is good at defending high ground. We know that much. And so far, Super, he's hanging onto his base for now. LGD don't want to let him continue that, though. And 35 minutes in, with LGD desperately needing to win, it's all up to Tony. And he's big enough to do it. Almost a 10k net worth advantage on the
Dire's
Life
top
Stealer.
tower is
And he's
under
backed up
attack.
by Wisp. It's not just a tiny. It's a tiny
Yeah,
Wisp.
it's Tiny Wiz is so it's like the hero becomes multiplied 2 times his
He
potential.
becomes the Incredible Hulk. He really does. Look at him! That Sleight of Fist doesn't even tickle him.
Scratching him.
Not even a scratch, let alone a tickle. And that cleave does a lot of damage to Super.
Super.
He just goes in with the right clicks. They have.
Oh, he didn't get the
avalanche.
buff off. Otherwise, Super would have died. I think.
Well, that's okay. Just keep on
look at the
smacking
splash.
Solar.
Look at the splash. Oh my god.
What a hero! They can't do anything. If they go in on him, there's a blink Shiva's Black Hole available. They just cannot engage on Tiny, and they can't not engage on him. They are trapped, Winter. This is a horrible predicament.
This is like you're trapped. You're trapped by a big bad rock. And you can't
Even
do
the
anything.
Veno. If they go in on Veno and they don't kill him, he just drops his Ag's ult. LGD, like the perfect lineup to siege this base right now.
Yeah. After the Venom dropped the ultimate, it's like everyone can't stay there. Otherwise, Tiny would clean everyone with like 1-2 hits.
Yeah, just go back to the fountain for 20 seconds or so, and then come fight again.
20 seconds, you lose all your buildings.
Well, yeah, he's gonna take the Rex. He might take some damage here, though. They do try to focus him for now,
That's the
but he's barely been tickled. Yep, there's your Rex. Well, that was pretty easy.
Yeah, that was like they're just gonna
Oh,
repeat
they're gonna
this.
smoke. They're gonna smoke and go back in.
Oh, relocate?
Oh, reload. Okay, never mind.
Okay.
They were like paint. Oh, maybe they are when they come back. No, there's no smoke. Okay, never mind.
Yeah. They're just waiting there. Like,
This
okay,
Veno is
it's-
going for the Mushi build, though. Yasha.
Why not? Damage.
Like,
Oh,
Impale, it actually connects on Sylar, too! Oh, boy!
Look at
Oh,
the splash.
boy! Oh, boy.
He died in 3 hits to the Tiny after 1 impale. The Life Stealer died in 3 hits.
And he's got Assault Cuirass and Armlet. He's not that squishy for a Life Stealer, but he's no match for Tony. There's your Manta. Full tank mode activated. All he's... At this point, he's 6-slotted. I guess he could... No. I mean, he's 6-slotted. That's it.
There's nothing to sell. You have to save boots on. Like,
Yeah, there's just no point to Boots of Travel, really. Just, you've got the Wisp. Well, he can save for buyback, maybe replace his BKB at some point, but that's a long way off, and this should really be
by
the
the way-
timing to win the game.
by the way, it's like 9 seconds BKB.
Yeah. And I just don't know if he needs to use it anyway. And
Yeah,
RTK's gone for a BKB of his own, but he's delaying the Hex even further.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
I really don't understand
Why BKB?
the BKB
Use-
after Necrobook Treads. Like, why is... I understand if you go a damage item or two, but why are so many Chinese Prophet players doing this build when they're losing?
I don't like to get BKB on profits.
I feel like if this was Bulldog, he would definitely be getting a Hex. Or Shadow Blade or Maelstrom.
Anything, yeah, as long as it gives you damage, I think it's what they need. Whatever survivable items you get at this point is not helpful against Tony.
Well, I guess at this point, Vici are saying we have to win one big fight, climactic team fight, or we just lose the game. And they've smoked
okay,
up for
bottom.
this. They'll try to go in there. They start off on the Tiny, but he's very tanky. They are focusing him nicely. But Blink, Black Hole,
Black
stolen by FY! He turns it around! Is it enough? I don't think so. Tony's still alive. The Rubik has fallen. But now, maybe cleaned up. DD dropping low. They go back in. Tiny goes hard, but he gets stunned by the familiars once, twice, and now they bring him down. They've done it. Super's done it, but it's all alone. He's got to retreat. Well, that was about as good as they could have hoped for, Winter.
The Tiny actually went back in. He could have like backed off, but he thought he will never die with the overcharge. But they had one last slide of fist to finish him off.
If he had I feel like this is where he really should have evasion, you know? I don't feel this heart is actually doing that much for him. Against Lifestealer?
Yeah, I have to agree, but the heart means that he can take a lot of sustained damage over time when they're sieging. It's pros and
Yeah.
cons again.
In the team fight, not as good, but yeah, in the siege, better. That's a good point. Now they'll continue that siege, and they'll lift him up once again. Remember, he did buy back. If he manages to die again, that's like 100 seconds plus on the sidelines, but who am I kidding? There's no stolen black hole here, and there's nothing but Rex to fall.
Dire's bottom barracks has fallen.
And they have caught 2 on the way out. But Tiny's still there. The Warden standing strong for his team.
Wow, the Wiz almost died. Poor guy.
I just think Super's like 1 or 2 items away. You know, he just doesn't have enough farm yet.
He has like 7, 7, 2, and 4 his score right now, but he still needs so much more damage, I feel. Maybe one more Daedalus, or even like maybe the Battle Fury could be what he needs right now. Like, because like in the fights, the Wiz and the Tiny could possibly be standing to each other. The Cleave could be really useful against that.
Yeah, and especially when the Tiny's got, what is it, 40 armor? No, 30 armor? 29 armor, so...
Okay.
And that's without counting things like the mech. Maybe they'll go for a
Overcharge.
Vlad's later on. Overcharge as well, so... I would also like to see something like a Battle Fury, just to give you that chance at a big Cleave crit. But even if they get one, he's got 4,000 now. 3,800 to be exact.
He's a tough rock to kill. That's about it. And with the black hole backing him up and the Venom, it's gonna be really like, maybe you manage to down him after the entire team throws everything at him, and his team will finish you off because you took so much damage.
Oh, they've gotten
Oh,
a Halberd. Do you know if the Halberd prevents Sleight of Fist? Actually?
Oh, that one, I have not tried that.
Alright, well, we'll find out, I guess. If not, well, maybe I'll test it after this game in a practice lobby. But for now, they're actually chasing. They've dropped 2 spirits. No, just 1. I'm lagging a little bit here. And they go right in on Pia Pia. They get off the bashes, but they need some more damage. Another Sleight of Fist. He's still at about half health. No black hole. It's cooling down right now. Does the Rubik still have his own? No, he's got Talk.
Well, maybe he should be in trouble.
They could go back in with black hole. They've got to be careful. And into the trees goes Super, but a Blink Impale is going to find him. He's dead. Just no chance. Now Sylar pops out at the absolute worst possible time, and that's it. GG.
Dire's top tower is
DD's done it. The squad, LGD, bounces back. They're now 2 and 3, and so too are Vici Gaming. A must-win for LGD, and they pull it out of the hat.
It was a really good good game by the Tiny. He knew that he was gonna be really strong, and he played really well in the engages and etc. But the only thing I feel was maybe a bit weird was the item selection, the heart, like you mentioned. It's good for sieging, but not very good against Lifesteal. But they still won the game in the end. Yeah, so the Enigma pick working out in the end.
Well, Winter, that is going to wrap up our second match of the day. That means, if we look at our group standings here, actually, we'll do that very quickly. These are not up to date, but now we know Vici Gaming is 2 and 3, LGD is 2 and 3, Tongfu, DT are 1 and 3, CIS is 0 and 4, Newbie is 3 and 1, and now IG 5 and 0, and DK 4 and 0. So it's IG, DK, and Newbie with the inside track to finish in the top 3, and then it's either Vici Gaming or LGD. One of these teams, it feels like, is likely to be left out.
That's really sad.
I think Vici's... both teams have played some of the tougher opponents. They both played DK already, who's one of the toughest. I don't know if they've both played IG, though. We saw IG versus LGD. I don't think we saw IG versus Vici Gaming, though. So LGD might actually have the better shot. They don't have to play IG. Well, we'll have to see how it all develops. I think I'm remembering my match history correctly, but... who knows? Who knows? Guys, what I do know is we've got more Starladder China coming up for you all next, and we can actually see the match list real quickly. It's going to be MB versus DT, and following that we have Tongfu versus CIS. We only have 4 matches today. I'm not sure why I'm showing 5. Well, because I'm bad at overlays, apparently. Yeah, Newbie versus DT. That match coming up for everybody in about 30 minutes. So I'm LD, he's Winter. Thanks for watching, guys. Stay tuned. More Starladder China continuing after this.